is brought to you by Carriage Crossing Senior Living.
Over the holidays, you no doubt noticed all those little red kettles in our community.
That's one of the many ways the Salvation Army works to do the most good. Here with more is Major Randy Summit, the executive director. So it feels like maybe we're late in talking about the Red Kettle campaign.
Well, not really. Again, the kettle campaign is all over, of course. That ended on Christmas Eve, and we unfortunately ended up just a little bit short, about $25,000 short of making the kettle goal. But we still keep collecting money in our seasonal appeal until the end of January. So that's why we're here today, because we're running about $56,000 short. So between now and the end of the month, I need to raise about, close to $60,000 if we can.
Oh, my.
Yeah. Now, this is, I would assume, your biggest fundraiser of the year, this campaign. Is it the only one?
Oh, no. We're doing mail appeal, a lot of the old school type things, letters and stuff that go out on a regular basis. We're still doing small thank you events, like we have one coming up in April, volunteer appreciation is going to be there, and that's a small fundraiser, very soft ask. But no, there are other events, but this is the biggest one, absolutely, every year.
And so how do people who maybe missed the kettles or gave some but want to give more now, what's the process for even going about doing that?
Well, there's a couple different ways they can go about that. The old school way, of course, they can drop it off at our offices, 2212 North Market Street. They can mail it in to our P.O. Box 618 here in Champaign, or of course, you can always go online with your phone or with any computer or device. Go to sachampaign.org and just tap on the red button. It's right there at the top of the page, of course, to donate and set it up however you want to do that, however much you want to do that. It's available and pretty simple and very secure.
I know running those kettles and ringing the bells is all volunteer-based, right?
Pretty much.
Did you have...
Not totally, but almost.
Did you have a shortage of volunteers this year? Because I was going to say, there were several occasions where I would be out and about, and there was nobody manning the kettle, so I was like, oh my goodness, we're missing out here on an opportunity of a bell ringer.
That's the biggest issue that we deal with, is that if there's no one there, people will not give. I mean, I could have put the buckets out and just had the bucket hanging there. What we've found over the past is that unless there's a person actually standing there, no one will give. I mean, they might give a little here or there. There might be, like, over an 8-hour period, $10 in the bucket. You put a person there, and there might be $300, $400, $500 there. And so, yeah, that was the issue. From the day after Thanksgiving, from Black Friday until Christmas Eve, we have about 30 spots we need to cover. We averaged about 12, 15, so not quite half. Good day was 16 or 17. And again, they weren't all bad days. We had some great days. Rotary Day was wonderful. Covered all of our spots that day and a few others. But in general, the biggest issue we had was we just couldn't get enough people out there to be there to man those kettles.
And then that explains some of the shortage you might be seeing now. For those who might not have their brains completely wrapped around all of the things that the Salvation Army does, can you kind of nutshell what your year looks like in terms of who you're helping and how?
Sure. And how much time are you giving me?
60 seconds.
60 seconds. All right. Well, the primary thing that we do, of course, is food insecurity. So we have a large pantry. We serve about 50,000 people. That's duplicated count, but about 50,000 different people we serve through our food pantry. We also help with rent assistance, utility assistance, housing assistance. We have a program for people who are trying to find jobs, especially those who have been incarcerated, non-violent, non-sexual predator people who are trying to get back into the workforce and trying to get their lives back together again. We have a program called Pathway of Hope, which is basically case management, a year-long process where they jump in and find a way to meet the goals that they have, be it housing, being in education, whatever. And of course, the other huge thing that we've got going right now is our veteran services. We have veteran programs all over the place. We have a small shelter, 5-man shelter, because again, we don't want a competition with anyone else in town. We want to support them too, but a small one for veteran men only. We also have a program where we'll help veterans get into an apartment for up to a year and pay their rent so they can really get established. There's another program where they can get their mortgage assistance paid for and those kind of things. The newest one for the vets that are just getting started is that we now have a Medicaid and legal program, which will help them get through all that process of getting the insurances and stuff that they need. So all kinds of programs to last year round, in addition to Christmas, emergency disaster services, and on youth services, seniors.
Wow.
And that's why he's the major, because he knows all of those things.
Good spiel there in 60 seconds of all the different ways that your organization helps.
There's a lot going on.
Yes. Well, if you want to continue to make a difference so they can continue to do the great work they're doing here in our community, there's a look at their Facebook page and their website where maybe you can just dig a little extra and help them out. We'll have all that information at stayliving.tv.
Coming up, we'll be